welcome back. Today's video is going to be a review, first impression demo on the new NYX Total Drop foundation. I know this foundation has been out for a little while, so it's not super new, so that's why I kind of debated doing this video, but I actually showed this in my Ulta haul last week and I got so many requests to do a video like this, so hopefully it is still helpful for some of you guys out there. So I have absolutely no face makeup on. I didn't prime my skin or anything. I just moisturized, and obviously I have my brows on, so I don't think I'm going to use a primer for today's video. My skin feels pretty nice today, so sometimes I use primer, sometimes I don't. And I always forget to mention this in my first impression videos, but I have combination skin. So typically, like, my forehead is super oily, the outer perimeter of my face tends to be pretty normal to dry sometimes, so it depends, but combo skin is what I got going on. So I guess I'll read you guys some of the claims about the foundation. I got mine on Ulta and I totally guessed my shade. This retails for $14, which I think that's pretty pricey for a drugstore foundation, to be honest. I remember when drugstore foundations would be like $10 and below, which I know there's still some out there that are like that, but I feel like a lot of new foundations that are coming out are typically pretty pricey. So some of the claims of this foundation, it says, with just a few drops, our Total Control Drop Foundation delivers sheer to full coverage and a velvety matte finish. So it says you adjust the number of drops you use until the desired level of coverage is achieved. More drops equals more coverage. And I have mine in the shade True Beige, and there are a total number of 24 shades, which I think that's pretty good for a drugstore foundation. I love when they have a lot of shades to choose from. I also do have the brush to go with it. This brush actually also retails for $14, which again I do think is pricey just for one brush. It's not mandatory, obviously, or necessary to use the brush with the foundation, but I've heard that the brush is best with this foundation, more so than other brushes or a beauty blender, but we shall see. I do have my beauty blender here just in case that brush doesn't work out and I have to use something different. So yeah, I feel like I've been talking already for like a million years. And also I just got out of the shower, so that's why my hair looks like this. I'm so sorry. I'm letting it air dry. And you guys know I don't like to do my hair anyway, so that's why I got this going on. So anyways, let's go ahead, zoom in, and get started. And I'm sorry if you guys can hear my laundry in the back. I'm currently doing laundry and I put my stuff in the dryer, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. Okay, so the foundation is actually very small. Like, compared to my head, that's tiny. There is a total of 0.43 fluid ounces in here, so I mean, I don't know. The foundation packaging, it's like a glass packaging, which I think is pretty nice. So yeah, let's go ahead and just apply this baby. I don't know if I should apply it on my face directly or on the brush directly. Let's do this on my face directly. There's like nothing coming out. I'm gonna do a couple drops because I like full coverage. So I'm gonna just take the brush and just blend this out. I think the color might match me really good. I mean, that covered it up. I had a little bit of scarring right here. It covered it up pretty well, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna try and apply some of the drops onto the brush and see what happens. I feel like this brush absorbs a lot of product. Like, I just applied like 3 drops into the brush and I feel like I'm not even getting a lot of coverage on my forehead with it because it absorbs a lot of product. So I'm not a huge fan of that. Very runny, the foundation. You know what I just realized? I forgot to shake this foundation. It does say shake. It's giving me just kind of like very like natural medium coverage. I want a little bit more coverage. I like full coverage, like on my face. I feel like go hard or go home. I don't know if I really like this whole drop concept of it. I feel like this drop foundation, like it takes forever for the drops to actually come out. I'm gonna use my beauty blender, to be honest. The brush I feel like is absorbing a lot of product and I'm not digging it. I feel like this foundation kind of is like not settling into my skin. Like it looks like it's kind of just sitting on top of my face, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm like stuck on this foundation. I don't really like the idea of having to constantly use a ton of drops to get the coverage because I feel like there's not that much product in here and like you're gonna keep using so many drops every time you do your makeup, especially if you're like me and you like medium to full coverage. You're gonna be using this foundation a lot and you're gonna run out of it very quickly, so you're gonna have to purchase more, and it's an expensive foundation in my opinion for the drugstore, so I don't know. Okay, so this is what the foundation looks like. I will say that it looks very natural, and when I touch my face it doesn't feel like I have foundation on. Like my face feels really soft and smooth and lightweight. I feel like you need to kind of let it sit for a little bit before it actually starts to absorb into your skin, because when I first applied it I feel like it took a little bit for it to kind of blend out, because when you first apply it, it kind of just looks like it's foundation sitting on top of your face and it's not really actually sinking into your skin, if that makes sense. So that's what I was trying to say earlier. But yeah, that's what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup and then I will be right back and I'll give you guys a couple more thoughts on the foundation and then I'll see you later for a check-in. Alright guys, I'm back. I finished up my makeup. If you're wondering, I'm wearing the Morphe 25B palette on the eyes. Then for my lips, I have on the Mega Last Liquid Katsu liquid lipstick from Wet n Wild in the shade Rebel Rose. And then also my lashes are the Ivor number 126. So this is what the foundation is looking like right now. I will say that it is a little bit cakey around my mouth and nose area. I can like see it in the mirror. Like if you look at me up close, you can tell that I'm wearing a lot of makeup on, but it feels really lightweight when I actually like have it on my face. Like it doesn't feel super heavy, which I really like. I also really like how my bronzer, blush, and highlight went on super smooth. I had no issues blending out the products, which is a plus in my book. The color does match me really well, which is another plus. The only thing is, like I said, with the whole drop concept of the foundation, like I don't know, I prefer just a traditional foundation with a pump or that you pour out or with a spatula rather so than the drop concept. It's not my favorite, but we'll see how it wears throughout the day. I feel like I'm kind of like just in the middle because of the packaging and because of how much you have to use, but I don't think it looks super terrible on my face. I also, like I said earlier, I didn't use a primer and I did not use a setting spray. I always usually set my face just to avoid having like that cakey powdery look, but I want to see how this foundation wears on its own. I always like to see what I'm working with on my bare face when I'm trying new foundations out. That way I know what kind of primers maybe I could use next time. You know what I mean? So anyways, right now it's actually pretty late. I was at school earlier. I had to get a shower, do all that stuff, so that's why it's late right now. It's 5:04, but I'm gonna be wearing this foundation until the rest of the night, and then I'll do another check-in for you guys later and I'll let you all know what I think, my final thoughts. So I'll see you guys in a few hours. Alright guys, I'm back. I know I'm not in my beauty room, I'm not at my house, so I'm sorry about the lighting and the quality. I'm using my vlogging camera, but I still wanted to do a check-in even though I'm not at home. So right now it is 12:26 a.m. So I've had the foundation on for over 7 hours at this point, and this is what it's looking like. I'm actually really impressed with this foundation, with the way that it looks. Like, I'm not even as oily as I was with a lot of other foundations that I've tried. Like, I'm looking at myself right now. I'm getting ready to go to bed soon. I'm taking off this makeup, but I'm just like in shock. Like, I'm not super oily. I will say the foundation is wearing off a little bit around my nose area, which happens with a lot of my foundations. If you look up close, like with this camera, if you zoom in, you can see all my imperfections. But yeah, you can see that it does look a little bit like cakey. You can tell that I've been wearing the foundation for a while, but I still think it doesn't look super bad. Like with a little bit of maybe powder, like to touch it up, I feel like, you know, it's good to go. Like nothing crazy. I forgot to mention earlier, I did set my face with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus powder, just because I always like to set my face. I feel like it helps everything else to go on super smooth. So I just dusted a little bit of that on my face, but nothing crazy. Also, just as a first impression, I feel like this foundation is best so far right now for combo to oily skin because it is a matte finish. It's not over drying. It didn't cling to any of my dry spots on my face, but I do find that this is going to work best for my oily to combo skin girls because it's a matte foundation. Like, there's basically no oil peeking through. Like, the only reason though that I'm giving this foundation kind of like an iffy review is because of the packaging. The whole drop concept of the foundation is really just not my favorite. I'd rather, like I said, just have a traditional foundation with a pump or with a spatula. I feel like it's so much easier and you have to use way less product. So that's why I'm not giving the foundation a fully good review. I also will say I do not like that foundation brush whatsoever. I feel like it's very expensive and it doesn't really do much. It absorbs so much foundation and it doesn't give you very good coverage. So the foundation brush for me is definitely a no-go. The foundation, I'm like I said, on the fence about it because I think it's very long wearing. It's perfect, I think, if you have combo to oily skin. I just don't like the packaging. Like, if it had normal packaging, I would give it like an A+ probably, but the packaging is killing me. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry for my lame outro, but I still wanted to do a check-in for you guys. I hope you still enjoyed. Let me know down below if you've tried this foundation and what your thoughts are on it. I would love to hear. And I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye.